Good morning to you. I'm Shayla Reeves. This is CBSN Minnesota's Morning Update. Grab that coffee and let's get you up to speed on all your news and weather. If you're heading out the door, of course, it's going to be a little foggy out there to start off your day. You might notice it feels a little warm for December, too. Well, we have some record high temperatures on tap, reaching 53 degrees by the evening. Of course, with those warmer temperatures, we're watching out for some thunderstorms. We have severe storms in our forecast starting after 7 p.m. So be sure to be on the lookout and pay attention for all those updates to keep you safe. Today is your very last chance for the least expensive way to ship a Christmas package at the post office and have it get there on time. They need to be in the mail by today for ground delivery. You have until the 22nd to send by 2 today or the 23rd for overnight. But remember, those last minute options will cost you a little bit of extra money. So are you completed with your holiday shopping yet? Or do you wait until the last minute to ship and need these deadline reminders? Let us know. Of course, those watching on Facebook, leave a comment here and we'll read through just a few of those in a moment. Later this morning, Chauvin is expected to plead guilty to violating George Floyd's civil rights. Chauvin is serving more than 20 years in prison for murdering Floyd and had pleaded not guilty to federal civil rights charges. Chauvin is expected to head to federal court in St. Paul today to change his plea. If convicted in this federal case, Chauvin could be sentenced to life in prison. The guilty plea won't be a done deal until the judge accepts it. For that to happen, Chauvin will have to take full responsibility.
This will be the first time that Mr. Chauvin in public has talked about what happened. He will have to methodically go through why he's guilty, that he knew what he was doing would violate Mr. Floyd's civil rights.
By changing his plea, Chauvin could get a lesser federal sentence and eventually get out of prison. Training was the main topic during testimony in the Kim Potter trial yesterday.
Have you been aware of any other officers who have drawn their handgun when they meant to draw their taser?
I don't.
That's Brooklyn Center Police Sergeant Mike Peterson, who trained Kim Potter on how to use her taser. Potter had said she meant to use her taser last April, but accidentally grabbed her gun when she shot and killed Dante Wright. Potter's most recent taser training was about 6 weeks before the shooting. Testimony continues today. Scan that QR code on your screen to watch it live on CBSN Minnesota. Frank Vassalero is leading our coverage from start to finish. A grim reminder that COVID-19 pandemic is far from over. 800,000 Americans have now died, and the U.S. is averaging 120,000 new cases a day. Congressional leaders held a moment of silence outside the Capitol last night to honor those lost. As cases surge, the latest CBS News poll finds nearly 1/3 of Americans who are vaccinated have no plans to get a booster shot. This despite evidence that regular vaccinations are not enough to protect against the Omicron variant. More than 200 million Americans are now fully vaccinated, and more than 3/4 of the eligible population have received at least one dose. If you or your kid needs to go to the hospital today, beds are tough to come by. We're checking the latest numbers in our children's hospitals right now. The state says just about 7% of pediatric ICU beds in the metro are available. Dr. Gabrielle Hester says Children's Minnesota is seeing around 20 pediatric patients per day for COVID-19. The hospital system has about 200 positive COVID cases daily. Dr. Hester says most children will have mild cases, but some get very sick and may have trouble breathing. They can also develop a rare complication called multi-system inflammatory syndrome in children.
Around the country in the United States, over 50 children have actually died from multi-system inflammatory syndrome in children. And unfortunately, close to 1,000 children have died from COVID-19, and many of those children were previously healthy.
Earlier this month, the FDA expanded use of monoclonal antibody treatment for even the youngest pediatric patients at risk for severe COVID, including newborns. Minnesota essential workers are still fighting for more pandemic pay. In a Zoom call, they say they've kept the state running through the pandemic at risk to their own health. But legislators haven't been able to agree on how much and who should get paid. Erin Murphy is a state senator and registered nurse. Along with other workers, she says the state's $7.7 billion budget surplus provides a simple solution.
Given the historic surplus, we must choose to honor their work by giving each of the 667,000 frontline workers the full $1,500 identified by the working group this fall.
Democrat and Republican members of the Frontline Worker Pay Working Group says they hope to resume negotiations soon. A Minnesota family's cross-country move turned into a nightmare before they even hit the road. They woke up yesterday morning to find their U-Haul truck stolen from their driveway in West St. Paul. One neighbor captured this surveillance video around 11 p.m. Inside the truck, a lifetime of memories the family planned to take to their new home in Texas, like Lily's 4-year-old son's baby memories. With no GPS installed, they put out a plea on social media and got the break they needed. Someone saw the post and called police after hearing their neighbor bring home a U-Haul truck in the middle of the night. Less than 2 miles away, WCCO saw police at a home. They told us they believe the items found were related to the stolen U-Haul.
Kind of want to cry because it does prove Minnesota nice, and we're all looking out for each other, you know? Everybody does. I mean, there's more good than bad.
Right now, it's unclear if the family will get everything back. They're working with police to identify the items found, but we're told many are still missing. Today is your very last chance, of course. If you need to get those items in the mail for ground delivery, you have until the 22nd to send by 2 today or the 23rd for overnight. But remember, those last-minute options will cost extra. The Library of Congress announced 25 films, including Star Wars: Return of the Jedi, will be inducted into the National Film Registry this year. Movies were chosen for their cultural and historic importance. The list includes A Nightmare on Elm Street, Selena, and Wall-E as well. The oldest inductee is a recently restored 1902 Ringling Brothers Parade film that shows a glimpse of a prosperous black community in Indianapolis at the turn of the 20th century. Katy Perry fans can bid on one of her most iconic props. The singer's giant golden lion she rode at the Super Bowl halftime show in 2015 is up for auction. It weighs 2,200 pounds and is 26 feet long. Also on sale, Perry is offering digital NFTs, a series of digital collectible assets. The bidding starts online today. And we want to get back to our talker for today. It's the last day to ship those ground items to get those holiday gifts to your loved ones on time. So we wanted to hear from you. Are you done with your holiday shopping? Are you still shopping? Where are you in that process? Melody says she's been done since October. She can sit back and relax. Don't have to worry about those deadlines there. And Diana says we are not done yet. Time seems to have slipped past this year. Maybe a quick trip today before weather issues start. That's a great idea, Diana. And of course, we're going to keep an eye on any further comments. If you're out and about today, be sure to be safe. We've got that fog this morning. We're watching that weather tonight. This is your morning update from CBSN Minnesota, your only local streaming news source. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you back here at the same time tomorrow.